Did you know that there's 3 female mindsets that are incredibly attractive to high-quality men? For the past 18 years, I've been digging in deep, trying to understand why some women are placed on a pedestal while other women are just taken advantage of and disregarded. And in this video, I'm going to reveal 3 mindsets that you can take on today that will powerfully attract a high-quality man. Hi, I'm Jason Silver, and I am the dating coach for ambitious women. This is my channel, Attract Great Guys, where we dive deep into strategies and learning and understanding about men, why we're attracted to women, and how you can attract a high-quality man into a lifelong committed relationship. That is my mission, to help 1 million ambitious women to find their lifelong relationship with their high-quality match. So I do hope that you become a subscriber. Just hit the red subscribe button beneath this video and the little bell, the notification bell, so you get notified of all of my upcoming trainings. Now, the first mindset that you can take on is being what I call being a commie. And I'm not talking about being a communist. I'm talking about being cautiously open-minded. You see, the 2 big problems that I see very often when I'm speaking to clients or women about dating is that they either are not trusting enough, they've just been burned too much in the past, or they don't trust men, and they tend to come off as cold or having an emotional wall in between them and in between men. Or the other challenge is that they are overly vulnerable and they're more open and willing to trust. And what tends to happen is they place themselves in a position to be hurt. So what I would encourage you to do is to be cautiously open-minded, which really means seeing the best in the other person, giving them the benefit of the doubt, while also not putting yourself in a position to be hurt just in case they don't have your best interests at heart, or just in case they do something that would upset you or hurt you. And I'll give you an example of this. When I first started dating my own wife, Kathy, she just seemed too sweet. We weren't arguing, we weren't fighting, we were dating for a few months, and I was so curious, can she really be this sweet? And I was prepared. I was prepared the entire time. I was falling in love with her, but I was also had in the back of my mind, something seems off. I really need to get to know her friends. I need to understand how she acts in different situations. I need to see her in different social circle situations. I really dug deep to get to know her because I was cautious and I didn't want to just blindly trust someone. And it took me several months of meeting her family, her friends, seeing her in different situations, getting into deep conversations with her, watching how she acted in different situations until I finally was able to begin to believe that she truly is indeed that person. It took a lot. The number 1 key to this is to always be cautious and never to put yourself in a position to be hurt. If you find that you've got a wall, that you don't trust any man, I encourage you to look for opportunities to see the best in your partner, to give them the benefit of the doubt, while also not putting yourself in a position to be wildly hurt. But if you have a history in the past of being used, then I encourage you to always ask the question, what if they're not being completely forthcoming? I know I believe them right now, but what if they're not being honest? How can I protect myself? How can I put myself in a position that I'm not going to be extremely hurt? And this is really all about protecting yourself and making sure you're okay. And ironically enough, when you're okay, you tend to feel more secure in the relationship because no matter what, you're going to be okay. And that allows you to give more, to be more vulnerable and more intimate. And it's just this self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, this just leads me to the second mindset, which is never to be completely dependent on a partner, on a date, on a relationship. And this is kind of counterintuitive because we're always hearing, well, you should be vulnerable, you should be open, and you should depend on your partner. That's healthy. However, again, what ends up happening is that, just like the first mindset, we end up putting ourselves in a position to be hurt, where maybe you start dating someone or you get into a relationship and you decide to stop working because that person is taking care of you financially. But there's an expectation there that they are going to be taking care of you. What happens if they lose a job? Or maybe there's a living situation where you give up some security, or you don't know what's going on in the finances. You're in a relationship and they're in complete control of the finances. You're totally out of the loop. What you're doing is you're putting yourself in a position where you have this expectation that they are going to do A, B, C. And if they don't, you are leaving yourself in a huge position to be hurt. Now, I will tell you, my wife, she works. She's a school psychologist. She knows what's going on with our finances. She's working. And I can tell you that if she chose not to work, she would always be aware, is she going to be okay? It just means that she's putting herself in a position of security. And when she's secure, she feels safe, and she's not completely dependent on me making her feel safe. She's not codependent on me. And that independence and that security ends up being more attractive. I'm more attractive to her because I know she's a strong, independent woman. And yet every single day we build our life together, we are raising kids together, and I believe that's the healthiest, to be securely independent while also working as a partner. And remember, when you're okay, when you're secure, when there's not that neediness, you become 10 times more attractive, and you allow yourself to feel more connected, more intimate, and more emotionally vulnerable because you feel safe in doing so. And finally, the third mindset is assuming attraction. Always assume attraction. And this means when you walk into a room, when you see an attractive guy, you're not putting him on a pedestal. You're not thinking that he's the more attractive person. You're not somehow comparing. You just know that he's attracted to you. In the same way that you would imagine the most beautiful woman that you can think of would walk into a room and you would assume that men are attracted to her, in the same way you're assuming that men are attracted to you. And you may not even look like a stereotypical supermodel, but you know, because of all of your unique values and gifts and your energy, you know that when you walk into a room, men are just attracted to you. And when you assume attraction, there's a certain confidence. You don't need their validation. You've got this kind of swagger going on because you know they're attracted. And what's the alternative to that, really? Is the alternative just assuming that you're not attractive? Because why would you value another woman, like if you're thinking of these really attractive women, why would you value them more than you value yourself? Why would you place them on a pedestal and yourself below it? Assuming attraction is really just a form of self-love, which is so powerful and helpful. When we begin to love ourselves, it allows other people to love us. Because how can someone else truly love us if we don't have that same love and care and appreciation for ourselves? And the way that you practice this today is literally just walk into a room, go somewhere, and when you see a man, think to yourself, what if this man were really attracted to me right now? How would I act? What would I do? And then just act as if. Literally act as if you're in a movie. Because the more that you can act as if a man is attracted to you, the easier it becomes to take that on, and it becomes a form of self-love and appreciation, and it also builds a real great attraction with men where they're looking at you and you've got that confidence, you're not afraid, you might have a more natural, relaxed conversation with them, you may even flirt with them, you might approach them. There's so much that can happen when you're coming from a place of confidence rather than from a place of fear. So if you can take on these three mindsets, you're going to set yourself up for security, for confidence, for self-love. You're going to build much more attraction in men. This stuff works. It's very powerful. It's the foundation. All attractive women that can flirt and can build that tension with men have these mindsets. I encourage you to try them out and let me know in the comments how it works for you and what you think, if you have any other great tips. I would love for you to become a subscriber, as I said before, and if you found any value in this video, please hit the thumbs up like button, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Be well.